Donald Trump is panicking as his war against Iran is spiraling out of control. Right now in Tehran, there are massive crowds actually welcoming the selection of the new Ayatollah and condemning the United States. They're out in the street there. So if this is what Donald Trump wanted to provoke right here, well, look what you've done, Donald. Look at what's going on right here in the Revolutionary Square in Tehran right now against Trump's war. So you can see it for yourself. Here, play this clip. And this, as we've learned, that the U.S. has intercepted encrypted communication believed to have been originated in Iran that may serve as an operational trigger for sleeper assets outside the country, according to a federal government alert sent to law enforcement agencies. Iran may be activating sleeper terrorist cells in retaliation for Donald Trump's invasion. But folks, the Trump kids are loving this. Donald Trump's sons are backing a new drone company, as the Wall Street Journal exclusively reports, targeting Pentagon sales. It's a company called PANICS, startup, 50 employees. And as the U.S. is now asking Zelensky for help with how they've dealt with drones in Ukraine, it looks like the Trump kids want to get in on that action too, maybe take some of that technology, maybe make some profit off of it as well. Don't you see that that's what this is all about right there? And they will screw over Zelensky yet again. But the Trump kids, boom, war. Let's make a ton of money right now while the American people are suffering, while our markets are tanking, while the price of oil is absolutely surging right now. They've now joined a drone company after doing Bitcoin companies. I mean, so pathetic. What is Donald Trump posting about this morning while this is all taking place? By the way, while Bahrain's top oil company just declared a force majeure in order to terminate some of its contractual obligations because its facilities are under attack. Bahrain's state oil company declared force majeure following an Iranian attack that set its only refinery ablaze. You can see right there the Bahrain Petroleum Company, BAPCO, near its capital in Manama right there. You see under attack and they're not able to fulfill any of their contracts. But here's what Trump's posting. This is all by design to make Trump and Republicans look bad for the midterm elections. That's what this is all about. America needs to clean house from these leftist agitators. All they do is create havoc in America. They proved it with Biden's disaster 4 years. Enough. That's what Donald Trump is posting this morning. A repost of Adela Mo 8639591. Then Donald Trump posts a meme from Juju Marie 1 of AOC and Schumer and others wearing devil horns. And the repost from Trump says, I've seen a lot of stuff in politics, but I've never seen people who hate their country nearly as much as the current Democrats. And with Donald Trump, it's always projection and confession. We know that he and the MAGA Republicans quite literally hate our country, and they show it every single day with their actions and with their conduct. Also, Donald Trump is now demanding asylum for the Iranian women's soccer team, or if you're a broad football team, from Australia. Yes, Donald Trump, who is taking Iranians from the United States and has been sending them back to Iran to be killed. And Donald Trump has been doing this with frequency here in the United States. Now, because it's a way that he can attack Australia this morning, uses asylum as a way to attack Australia when we know that he's been preventing Iranians in the U.S. from getting asylum? Just think about that. Here's what Donald Trump posted this morning. Australia is making a terrible humanitarian mistake by allowing the Iran national women's soccer team to be forced back to Iran, where they will most likely be killed. Don't do it, Mr. Prime Minister. Give asylum. The U.S. will take them if you won't. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump. Oh, and then Donald Trump does another post using the image of the Iranian women's soccer team, and he says, asylum! Exclamation point. Really? Asylum? Then you have state regime media, an arm of the Trump regime, which it's called Fox here in the United States. I call it state regime media. But you have Brian Kilmeade and the hosts on Fox basically saying to all those shippers out there, to all of the captains of those big tanks, those big shipping, those big ships stuck in the Strait of Hormuz, he goes, here's what you need to do. Show your patriotism by going through that strait. Take your ships and go through the strait. That's the way you'll show you're patriotic, because the Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed right now because of the U.S. initiating this war. Play this clip.
If they could get the prices of oil up, that the president would have to draw from the conflict. So just careful, guys.
Right. And he said they should go to strategic oil reserve. That's what Joe Biden did to get prices down without a crisis. The administration announced $20 billion maritime reinsurance plan. So he's saying, hey, guys, even though we get the oil, the market's flush, this is fear, I'm still going to insure your ships. So go through the strait. And, that's just part of it. If you want to diminish the Iranian threat, if you want to make sure that this ends up with complete Iran capitulation, sow some guts and go through that strait and do it.
Knockoffs might look the same at first, but we all know they never hold up. LeafFilter isn't just another gutter guard. It's a trusted name that's built to last with years of relentless engineering behind it. Don't settle for a knockoff. Protect your home with LeafFilter and save up to 30% off your entire purchase at leaffilter.com/Meidas. Look, gutters are more complicated than they seem, and that's why it's important to go with a trusted system, not knockoffs. When it comes to DIY, doing something wrong can end up costing you more in the end. An investment in LeafFilter is an investment in engineering to protect your whole home. Clogged gutters aren't just annoying, they can cause extensive water damage. Don't trust companies that claim they work like LeafFilter. They don't. Hood-style guards, they can't keep up in heavy rain. Water pours right over the edge and straight to your home's foundation or basement walls. And in lighter rain, leaves and debris can flow right in the gap. LeafFilter works better because it's topped by surgical-grade stainless steel and micro mesh, so water is channeled in while debris is filtered out, where it belongs. LeafFilter is your permanent solution to clogged gutters. Every installation comes with a lifetime clog-free guarantee. With more than 50 design and engineering patents, LeafFilter is trusted by over 1 million homes. From drizzles to downpours, LeafFilter is engineered to protect in every condition. Let LeafFilter's trusted pro handle it. Call to schedule your free gutter inspection and get a no-obligation free estimate. A LeafFilter Trusted Pro will clean out, realign, and seal your gutters before installing LeafFilter. Engineering, reliability, and performance. That's what makes LeafFilter America's #1 gutter protection system. Start protecting your home today with LeafFilter, America's #1 gutter protection system. Schedule your free inspection at leaffilter.com/Meidas. That's up to 30% off at leaffilter.com/Meidas. See your representative for warranty details.
And then later on state regime media this morning, you have the United States Deputy UN Ambassador Tammy Bruce saying, well, even if Russia is helping Iran target the U.S. troops and target U.S. interests there, they're not doing a good job because we've decimated Iran. Iran is decimated. Well, I showed the video before. Yes, you are decimating areas of Iran. Yes, you are dropping big bombs on Iran and you are blowing stuff up. No doubt about that, including elementary school where over 150 children died, 185 people in total. Yes, you're blowing lots of things up. Israel's blowing up oil rigs. Lots of things are being blown up in Iran right now. No doubt about it. But I'm not sure it's decimated because you've turned even people who were sympathetic to the United States potentially and against the Ayatollah. You've turned them against us now. This couldn't have backfired more. Here, play this clip.
That. How important is it to the U.S. that China and Russia not just stay out of it, but they don't feel like we've drawn them into it?
Well, obviously, I won't speak for the president or the White House. I know the administration's not going to comment on intelligence, whether it's true or not. That's been leaked. What we can say, of course, is that if that ends up being true or anything that disturbs what we're attempting to do, the president has relationships with anyone and would address that directly with Russia himself. That is what the people voted for when they voted for him again. The 2 times they voted for him is that this is a man who's going to do things differently, who's taking charge, who knows everyone, who wants diplomacy first, who wants negotiated solutions first. He clearly, in order for us to be able to function, he must speak to everyone, whether it's China or Russia. And now my being in a multilateral environment, 193 countries across the street from the U.S. mission, is that the world, you've got to talk to them, and they begin to understand and want leadership. That is what President Trump offers the world. They see the difference. And this dynamic right now, clearly, no matter what is going on or if anyone's helping Iran, they're not doing a very good job of it because they're decimated at this point. Now it's a matter of the way forward, and Donald Trump will decide what that way is.
You know, and speaking of how it's backfired more, I've read you some of the writings of this Emirati billionaire from the United Arab Emirates, this Emirati billionaire a few days back. He runs the Al-Habtoor group. And here's what he writes this morning after hearing what Lindsey Graham's been saying on all the morning shows and how Lindsey Graham's been, shoulder to shoulder with Donald Trump saying these things. Khalaf Ahmad Al-Habtoor says the following. I heard the statements of Lindsey Graham in which he calls on the Gulf Cooperation Council countries to enter this war, saying that we are also under attack and that we must join the fight. And I say to him clearly, we know full well why we are under attack. And we also know who dragged the entire region into this dangerous escalation without consulting those he calls his allies in the region. We thank God that the United Arab Emirates and the Gulf Cooperation Council countries are doing well, and we have no need for someone who claims he came to the Middle East to save us. The truth is that hasty American decisions are what embroiled the region in a war whose people were not party to its decision-making, and its local allies were not consulted before it was launched. We do not deny the Iranian threat to the region, which has become clear in recent days. We do not trust Iran, but this is a dirty game in which several powers clash at the expense of our region with no honor in it and no transparency. In this scene, Iran, Israel, and the United States all move according to their own interests, not according to the interest of the peoples of the Middle East and Arab countries. And for this reason, we say it clearly. We will not enter this war to serve the interests of others, nor will we sacrifice our sons in a conflict that could have been avoided through diplomacy and political solutions. We value the lives of our sons, and we do not treat their souls as collateral damage, as some do. Nothing in this world is more precious than the lives of our sons, and no alliance with any country in the world is worth risking these lives. If President Donald Trump and Senator Graham are prepared to risk their country and the lives of Americans for Israel's interest, that is their choice. As for us, we will not do the same. Senator Graham says they are the Arabs' allies and that we need and benefit from U.S. protection. And I say to him, we do not need your protection. All we want from you is to keep your hands off of us. He also says we sell you weapons, as if that were a service the United States provides us. The truth is, this is no favor from anyone. We invest in our security and pay billions of dollars for these weapons, and it is a massive trade and industry built on these deals. In fact, the United States itself is now turning to buy weapons from Ukraine to supply its allies in other wars. This is an industry that thrives on wars and arms sales, not a charitable endeavor. And the clearest example, and the clearest thing of all, is what Senator Graham himself said when he spoke about oil. He stated that Iran and Venezuela together hold 31% of oil reserves, and that the United States could establish a partnership that with this share of the world's oil, and that it would be a nightmare for China. He even added that if the regime in Iran changes, there would be a new Middle East and the United States would make a lot of money. And then he goes on to say, it's obvious that this is what it's all about right here, and we're not being used for that purpose. Very wise words indeed. And so that's what's going on this morning right now over here. You've got J.D. Vance out there not calling this a war. He calls it a conflict with Iran. Play this clip.
In the dignified transfer of 6 American soldiers who were killed overseas in this conflict with Iran.
And you've got Tom Emmer, MAGA Republican Congress member, who's in Doral, Miami right now because all the Republicans are at a retreat with Donald Trump. They're spending all their money at Trump's resort, of course. And he said, this is just a short-term, this isn't a war. He says, we're in a short-term experience right now. Let's play this clip.
I believe it is already being extremely successful, and I believe it'll be over in short order.
That would be obviously the best case scenario, over in short order, because if the GOP had a problem or if it was trying to address affordability and the president addressing that with oil over $100, that suddenly it becomes the war in Iran as well as what happens domestically with prices.
Yeah, yesterday I think a barrel of oil was at $105. So your point's well taken. But as the president has said, this is a short-term experience. This is a short-term cost to literally deal with the chief sponsor.
Well, there you have it, folks. We'll keep you posted every step of the way. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.